You stopped. Amazing. The adept that helped return Ivea to Nirn. Sorry. Vanus Galarian himself asked me to find you. We have a bit of a predicament. The Archmagister asked that I not say too much in earshot of my guildmates. Let's just say it's a magical anomaly. Untamed power from an unknown source. Plenty to catch a mage's interest, but that's just the trouble. It could be highly dangerous. For now, power draws mages like moths to a flame. We're a little hopeless that way. Votary Nalia, a knight from the Order of the Lamp, is on the scene. She needs someone to help her explore this anomaly and assess the danger. What do you say? Excellent! The anomaly is in an old complex called Sunamir, beneath the Sunhold Mages Guild. Good luck. Hopefully the rest of us won't be far behind you. Precious little, I'm afraid. They broke through an old wall to get at it. Votary Nalia can fill you in on the details, but I heard one of the other knights mention it's old, deep magic. Makes sense, given the age of Sunamir. No, Sunamir predates the founding of the Mages Guild by, 1,000 years or so. It's an ancient library, I think. Lots of dusty tomes and some esoteric stories from all across Tamriel. Take my word for it, she's one of our best. Professional, highly focused, a tad overworked, maybe. Some say knights in the Order of the Lamp are just failed mages. Those people haven't met Nalia. Other knights throw around honorifics like Sir and Dame. It's like that, a way for members to distinguish themselves. It speaks to their vows to the Order and to their role as a light to defend the guild. They fill many roles, often acting as bodyguards for powerful members or guardians of ancient magics. There aren't many knights in the Order, especially compared to the number of mages in the guild. The standard for knights inducted into the Order soar higher than Kapora Tower. We don't just take anyone who can swing a blade, especially these days. Well, rumor is that Archmagister Vanus formed the Order to lend legitimacy to the Mages Guild back when it was founded. That's not really a problem anymore. The knights are brave, skilled, and true, but the Order doesn't have much clout these days. Don't let Nalia hear you say that, but yes, votaries of the Order of the Lamp are a rare sight in Tamriel these days, and likely to get rarer as the years roll on. Take my word for it, she's one of our best. Professional, highly focused, a tad overworked, maybe. Some say knights in the Order of the Lamp are just failed mages. Those people haven't met Nalia. She's got an incredible aptitude for portal magic. Taught me everything I know. She'd have made a fine adept if she didn't love that sword so much. At least, I think she loves it. She's hard to read these days. Very focused on work, like I said. Nalia and the others are inside. Stay safe in there.
Ah, good. You must be our backup. A nod came through.
Magnus, watch over you, Nalia. We'll keep watch out here.
Right. Lead the way, traveler. The door just down the hall here.
You're the one Nalia's been waiting for. You're not what I expected, but perhaps that's just what she needs. You're the one Nalia's been waiting for.
Any chance I could get you to cast a few investigation spells while you're in there? Maybe learn something about this place. Never mind. Nalia's giving me a look. Just do what she says and watch her back. Got it?
Thank you for coming. The guild will make this worth your time, rest assured. Head through the door over there. I'll be right behind you. Mind your step. This place is a bit of a mess thanks to that portal. Now that we have a moment, allow me to introduce myself. Nalia, Votary Knight in the Order of the Lamp. I know of your impressive work for the Guild, of course. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Ernard briefed you on our situation? That's exactly right. I'm quite proficient with portals, you see. This was my first time patrolling here in Sunamir, filling in for a friend. I sensed a portal through the wall back there, and when we broke through... well... I mean, I tried. There used to be a lot more wall back there. The portal didn't like me trying to go through one bit. Raw magical energy came bursting out. I'm just lucky I wasn't scraped up too bad. This portal is old magic, keyed to require 2 people to enter at the same time. I think. That's where you come in. I'll see if I can stabilize it, then we go through together. Do you have any questions before we head in? Fair enough. I'll answer what I can. What would you like to know? Each knight takes a solemn vow to protect the Mages Guild, its members, and its goals. When we're available, we also go in first to deal with situations like this, trying to assess the unknown before letting the adepts get their hands dirty. There aren't many votaries in the Order right now, part of why I joined up. I tried the adept's life before that. Being a lamp knight suits me better, even if I still get called on for my portal magic just as much as before. If we were still on patrol, I'd be perfectly comfortable with Laren and Julian at my side, but we have no idea what's beyond that portal. One of the nice parts of being in a guild is you can call in backup. That's you. I'm good with portal magic. Really good. But I'm self-taught. I can't really put it into words like one of the adepts might. I've made and examined a lot of portals. This one is odd. Unique. A door with 2 keyholes waiting since the First Era. No. But I can tell you it doesn't lead to a Daedric realm. At least we've got that going for us. The other side is shrouded, but it's somewhere on Nirn. Maybe some kind of lingering lost magic from the First Era. Sunamir? We're in Somerset, deep under the Mages Guild in Sunhold. There's a few ways inside, so the guild has us patrol every so often, just to make sure no cultists or tome thieves got in. It's not, really. The place was donated to the guild sometime around its founding. The oldest books found here were from the early middle of the First Era. Shame they weren't kept in better condition. A lot of these books have been lost to time. Here we go. It's happening again! Brace yourself! That blast reawakened some latent magic in here. Look around while I get this thing under control.
And all this time, these books that would to meditate on, like just a little more time.
An illusion? It seems distorted. Watch out! Bet there's lots of old notes down here. This thing's as stable as I can make it. Let's head in before another surge of magic. Good to know I was right about the portal. Let's figure out where we are and find the source of all this unstable magic. This architecture is elven. We must still be near Somerset. All these defenses are meant to protect what? Feel that surge of magic? We're getting close. Whatever's causing this, I think it's in the next room. Come on! Eyes of Magnus. Where are we? What is this place? This place is incredible. We'll have to explore when we're not in mortal danger. All this unstable magic seems to be flowing from those doors to the altar. Ah, see? You took the words right out of my mouth. Close the doors if you can. I'll see what I can do to stabilize the focusing crystal on the altar. I'll handle things here. Shut those doors.
To seek me out.
It's been too long since someone basked in my presence.
Two moons ascend this star-parked night. One a lamp and one a light.
Hello? Oh no, is someone there?
Adventurer! I need you up here, now! That wasn't the best idea I've ever had.
Meddlers! Thieves! What have you done to my altar?
We were just trying to calm things down. Who in oblivion are you?
This is a fine way to wake after centuries of restless slumber. Did she send you? You're not at all what I was promised. It wasn't enough to break in, you had to smash the altar too. You may call me the Crow. This is the Scalarium and... I see now. She didn't send you. If she had, your knight wouldn't have smashed the altar's focusing crystal. I suppose, if you meant true harm, you could have done much worse. We'll need a new crystal to act as a focus for the altar. Procure one and... pin feathers. I suppose it's the only way. We'll have to try. This altar focuses power to shape the very heart of magic itself. If we're going to get things under control, I'll need to talk you through the rite of scribing. But first things first, there should be an old focus or two in the East Wing. Hurry! The East Wing should still have a replacement crystal boxed up somewhere. Don't let the Scalarium's defenses stand in your way. Hurry now! We'll have all the time in the world to talk after the magic here is quelled. If the altar isn't stabilized, our conversation options will be very limited, because we will be dead.
I'll hang back. That blast took a lot out of me.
Good. Bring the crystal to the altar. Place it in the empty locus. If we are to quell this magic, we must focus it into a new creation. Place your hands on the altar. This is the scribing altar. Make this grimoire your own. The magic of the Scalarium is calmed. Well done. Let's talk about what comes next.
Hang on. What just happened?
It's done. The altar is quiet, and for the first time in centuries, scribing has returned to Tamriel. It's clear Ulfsild did not send you, but I believe she would be quite proud of you just the same. Archmage Ulfsild the Evergreen? Warrior Witch of Kyne's Aegis? Clever woman of the Druidok? The Pale's priestess of Juno? She created the Scalarium and perfected the art of scribing. Like a ray of sunlight from Magnus himself. Yes, scribing is an art developed by Archmage Ulfsild in collaboration with powerful beings. Spirits, if you like. They are called the Luminaries of Magic, and you, adventurer, are going to seek them out. To inherit Ulfsild's legacy, to make your mark on spellcraft itself. The Luminaries wait beyond these beautiful sealed doors. If you're willing, I will guide you on the path of scribing. I will take you under my wing. There is a world of magic beyond your mortal ken, adventurer. With the Luminaries at your side, there is nothing you cannot accomplish. Speak to your knight. Consider my offer. There is much to be done, but it will be good to flex my feathers again. Like a flock moving across the sky, scribing twists and turns in the wind. It was an art form, a discipline, and a life's work. And as she got to know the Luminaries, it became a collaboration with her very best friends. Ulfsild's innate gift to see magicka brought with it a lifetime of lived experiences not easily transferred to others. So she developed the art of shaping magic via ink, parchment, and quill. What was missing was raw mystical strength. In so many ways, scribing hinges upon the borrowed power of the Luminaries, channeled through the altar. With their power flowing to the focus at the heart of the Scalarium, a mage is able to do incredible, ineffable acts of creation. Ulfsild saw the world differently. She could literally see magic, watch as it spiraled in ribbons across the world. As she grew up and formally learned to cast spells, it gave her a perspective on magecraft no one else had. Yes. She hoped that with proper technique and a sufficiently powerful focus, anyone could develop the same relationship with magic she had. She spent the work of lifetimes pursuing that dream, and never quite saw her work bear fruit. Most spells and skills are time-honored traditions, reliable, consistent, but they lack artistry, require nothing from the caster beyond a basic understanding of how magicka flows. I described scribing as an art because it requires artistry. Yes, that's a good way to look at it. Grimoires are spells and skills built from the ground up with artistry. No one would claim they're the most efficient, most reliable workings, but they're far more flexible than the average magecraft. Ha! You've got it! You can paint a picture with many different brushes, many different colors, can you not? Scribing allows a talented hand to do the same with magic, crafting a spell or skill in just the artistic fashion you want. And I have questions for you. It's been so long since I've spoken to someone like this. I'll spare you my interrogation. I'll learn more about you as you follow the path of the luminaries. They are beings of pure magic, hence their name. Utterly unique, like beams of light emanating from the face of Magnus himself. Each has chosen a shape that suits their personality, following goals and interests entirely of their own choosing. Ask each luminary what they are, where they came from, or how they came to be, and they'll each give you a different answer. My suggestion is that you meet them, learn all you can, and decide the answer to that question for yourself. As they themselves once taught Ulfsild, yes, the luminaries understand magic in a way mortals never could. Their power, freely given, will allow you access to arcane mysteries others could only dream of. We are beneath an island called Ivea. In ages past, Ivea was a sanctuary for magic, founded by Ulfsild's husband, Archmagus Shalador. I am caretaker to this space, Ulfsild's familiar, set to watch over it when the island was lost. Impressive, and well-timed. The Mad God's discovery of the Scalarium would have been catastrophic. I felt the shift when Ivea returned to Nirn, but had no idea what called it home. I can think of no one better suited to inherit Ulfsild's legacy. Has all record of her accomplishments been lost? Not a footnote remains of her life and deeds? Her discovery of the luminaries began long before she met and wed Archmage Shalador, though their collaboration would encompass the work of a lifetime. She did. I'm saddened and surprised. They were very much in love. They always knew they would not see the end together, but I doubt either of them expected things would end like that. Shalador was one of the greatest mages to walk the face of Nirn. He planned to live until the Aedra themselves wrested him from this world. But Ulfsild didn't want to live forever. She wanted to leave behind a legacy. Now, thanks to you, she will.
I've been a knight in the Order for years, Traveler, and I've never heard of anything like this. A lost art of shaping magic, an ancient library, and these luminaries. This is incredible. Hopefully you'll learn exactly what a luminary is while you're at it. I'm lucky you were here, Traveler. My magic is so specialized. With that altar, who knows what else you'll learn to do? What sort of spells and skills you'll create? Well, I need to report in. Tell the head of my order what's happened and get guidance from the Archmagister. If you're asking my advice, why not stay here? Talk more with the crow and see if you can start to walk this path she mentioned. A patrol to last a lifetime. I brought you in to help with an unstable portal, and look at everything we've done. explored an ancient library, met a talking crow, and apparently revived an ancient form of magic. Can't wait to see what happens next. I have no idea how I'm going to explain this to the head of my order. This will be a long and entertaining conversation. In the meantime, you have a feathered scholar to speak with. You passed some of my trusted associates when we entered Sunamir. I want them tasked to investigate and catalog what we find. In the meantime, you're our resident expert on scribing. You need to learn everything you can. You couldn't be more right. What are the luminaries? How do they relate to this lost art of scribing? We have more questions than answers. Luckily, we also have you. Give the crow my regards, traveler. I'm a touch nervous to bring this to the Votary Commander and Archmage Galerion. This is going to come as quite a surprise. And those two hate surprises. I'll be fine. Probably. Of course. We really jumped into the boggy end of the swamp together, didn't we? Answering a few questions is the least I can do for the world's foremost expert on scribing. Oh, me? Not much to tell, really. I grew up in a guild family. My mother was an adept, and my father was a researcher back in Eldenroot. I started off sort of following in the family business, but most magic just kind of eludes me. Yeah, swords always made more sense to me than spells. Portals and I get along great, something about how they come together, like a good riddle. But most magic and I just don't get along, much to my father's chagrin. Each knight takes a solemn vow to protect the Mages Guild, its members, and its goals. There aren't many votaries in the Order right now, part of why I joined up. I tried the Adept's life before that. Being a Lamp Knight suits me better, even if I still get called on for my portal magic just as much as before. My plan is to bring in Ernard, who opened the portal for you, as well as Laren and Julian. You passed them back in Sunamir. And Chronicler Ferandil. He'll be invaluable here and can keep the other three in line. Votary Laren and I have gotten each other out of more scrapes than I can count. Julian is sour as a plum, but she's one of the smartest people I know. And Ernard doesn't look like much, but he cuts through guild politics like a spell-forged blade. Ferandil is... well, he's not much fun at parties. But put him in front of a stack of moldy old tomes and he'll have them organized, cataloged, and analyzed faster than you can say Eye of Magnus 3 times fast.
I'm glad you've chosen to stay, Interloper. The path to master scribing is not an easy one, but its rewards are innumerable. Your knight appears to be leaving. Did I ruffle her feathers with my cause? A guild of mages? Fascinating, but a topic for another conversation. Let's stay focused. Ulfsild prepared for the day that someone would follow in her footsteps. She left behind resources, notes, and information for her eventual inheritor. What I want is immaterial. The luminaries will dictate your future as a scriber of grimoires, an editor of spells. That said, I am Ulfsild's familiar. I can guide your early steps, get you flying in the right direction. Where you perch is up to you. Ulfsild left a number of echoes, instructional illusions, scattered throughout the library. Their aim is to guide you through the process of contacting the luminaries, making allies of them once again. There's one just behind you. See for yourself. The echo at the base of the altar is just one of many. Much of the Scalarium's knowledge has been lost to time. But if Magnus wills it, Ulfsild's preparations should be enough to see us through. Fly back to me when you have followed Ulfsild's instructions.
If you are seeing this, the Kroll has set you on the path to learn the art of scribing. A world of magic awaits you. I've left behind another sort of guide, the True Sight Lens. Seek it out in the East Wing. The lens and the fables are signposts to seek the luminaries, and they will teach you far more than I ever could. I made this lens so you might see the world as I do. The very warp and weft of magic laid out before me. A look through the lens will allow you to see impressions left behind by the luminaries. Follow these signposts, and you will find their domains.
Good. You found the lens. It will be your most important tool in tracing a path to the luminaries. Merely holding the lens will attune you to the flow of magic. You will begin to see focal points, impressions left behind by these mystical beings. It's quite simple. Stand in one and peer through the lens. Hidden magics in many forms will be revealed to you. Doors, glyphs, even secrets layered within tomes. But here, enough talk. Let's begin. Gather your feathers about you. Nearby you will see a focal point and the fable of the Indrik. Read the book, then step into the focal point. Peer through the lens, and you'll see the tome in an all-new light. Ulfsild's secrets are all around us. You need only know where to look. Read the fable of the Indrik, then use the lens and re-examine the tome. You'll see what I mean. Ulfsild created the True Sight lens as she developed the art of scribing. From a young age, she could see magic in a way few others could. This intuitive understanding of magic was what led her to the luminaries, and inspired scribing itself. Seeing and understanding are two different things, interloper. The lens was a tool, a high branch to give her a bird's-eye view of impressions left behind by the luminaries. From a very young age, Archmage Ulfsild found she could see the current of magic as it flowed across Nirn. Faintly at times, more strongly in others. A rare and precious gift, one granted by Magnus himself, no doubt. Now enter the focal point and peer through the lens. You will see what was unseen in the fable. Excellent. Ulfsild's annotations will tell you where you need to go. You've seen the hidden annotations then, and you know where you are going? You should be able to follow those annotations in sequence, leading you from location to location. Just like the hunter in the fable, you seek the Indrik now. Let Ulfsild be your guide. As this is your first time, I will accompany you into the field. Not everything you need to know is on the page. I will teach you how to break the luminary wards and retrieve key fragments to enter the Indrik's domain. I'll meet you at the Lady's Standing Stone in Oradon. How nice it'll be to really stretch my wings again. Tilt your head and think of the altar as the heart of the Scalarium. Without it, the library would simply be a graveyard of tomes. A lifeless shell filled with old knowledge and stories of the past. What makes that heart beat? What gives it life? Yes. Before the doors were sealed, the Indrik, Netch, Dragon, and Griffin fed the altar their strength. Now the heart of the Scalarium struggles to beat, and without that beating heart, your mastery of scribing will stagnate. Ah, there's the trick. We don't. Ulfsild underwent trials to prove her worth, to gain their trust. But that was lifetimes ago. All we can hope to do now is find the luminaries and remind them of their promise to Ulfsild. The rest is up to you. Indeed. Ulfsild gathered hundreds of tomes in her search for these tales. A small handful of her annotated volumes will be needed to find the luminaries. Beyond the Indrik, you will seek them out in whatever order you choose. Ulfsild felt a kinship with him. He was the first of the luminaries to ally with the Archmage, and the first to commit his power to the altar. If any of these unorthodox beings are still loyal to Ulfsild, I felt he would be the one.
Sure.
Here we are, where the fabled chase began. Ah, what a flight! I almost didn't want to land. But, to business. The luminaries are beings of great power. Each has a domain they have shaped to their choosing. Each domain has a door, and each door, of course, has a key. As I said in the library, let the fable be your guide. We are here at the Lady, the first annotated location in the fable. Just as you did back at the Scalarium, peer through the true sight lens within a focal point. Magic wards left behind by the Indrik. A trio of these wards hide a fragment of his key. Once revealed, these wards can be dispelled from a distance. Clear them all, and the key fragment will be revealed. Don't worry, I'll help you find it. If the luminaries share one trait, it's a love of a challenge overcome. Yes, you'll need to gather 3 key fragments to open the Indrik's door. Let's begin. And remember, if you lose your sight, there will always be more focal points at hand. Peer through the lens, reveal the wards, and claim the key fragment. This may seem a small step, but an incredible path waits before you. I'm not sure I can give you a simple answer to that question. Perhaps some of the luminaries can give you their perspective. My best guess? When you see magic the way they do, your taste for the company of mortal mages might sour. That ruffles the feathers more than I intended. Think of it this way. Your average archmage is just a neophyte compared to the luminaries. I think these hidden keys are a way to dissuade, let's call them, casual questions. Indeed. Ulfsild gathered hundreds of tomes in her search for these tales. A small handful of her annotated volumes will be needed to find the luminaries. Beyond the Indrik, you will seek them out in whatever order you choose. The lens shows you magic the way Ulfsild saw it. Shades of how the luminaries see it. Now, find the wards. Your vision has faded. Find another focal point. Each will be in sight of a ward. Your vision has faded once more. Find another focal point. Peer through the lens and break the wards to find the key fragment. The wards are gone, and the fragment revealed. The first key fragment is yours. Well done. You've taken to this well. Your early steps to master scribing. But from here I must take my leave. Return to the Scalarium. Ulfsild, I believe, wanted her inheritor to walk this path alone. Just as you did here, use the fable to find your way. Dispel the wards, and with key in hand, you should be able to open the door and meet the luminary Indrik face to face. He will likely ask you to prove yourself worthy of his power. I have a good feeling about you, interloper. Altar breaker. I have faith you can do it. Magnus guide you on your journey, and I'll see you back at the Scalarium. Just remember, you can always reference the fable of the Indrik from your bag. Ulfsild's annotations will guide you on your journey. Find the wards, obtain the fragments, and soon you shall meet your first luminary of magic. Just remember, in your quest to meet other luminaries, I will not be around to act as a guide. The next set of wards lie within the ruins of Ondil. The third are on the eastern island of Buranim. Ulfsild's annotations make that clear. It lies on an island off the southwest coast of Auradon, atop a rise that now features a lighthouse beacon. You'll find it, interloper, just as Ulfsild did, all those years ago. Excellent. The wards are nearby. Seek the key fragment. Walk the path.
Victory is cruel. Defeat is worse.
Gather your feathers about you. The last fragment is within those ruins. You've flown true. The luminary Indrik's door is close. Find the path to the top, and take the next step on your journey.
It has been many long years since a mortal entered my domain. And now here you are, following in Ulfsild's footsteps. Welcome to my domain, adventurer, bearer of my fable. I sense the power of the Scholarium within you. Your ink-stained hands have touched the altar's magic. I sensed too when Ulfsild's essence faded from this realm. After all these years, do you hope to be her inheritor? I sense potential. You hunger for power, much as Ulfsild did when she sought me out all those years ago. I will ask you the same question I asked her. Do you deserve this power? The power to edit grimoires, to rewrite magic? An honest answer, and wise. I offer the power to maim or mend, to blast with flame or freeze with ice. Such a gift is not taken lightly. But first, my door must open once again. Place the fable you carry with you upon the dais. A story is never just a story. It has the power to change from within and without. The fable of the Indrik acts as a symbolic connection, a commitment from me to you. Place the book and open the path. It's good to taste the ink of the Scalarium upon the air again. Power can mean many things. Its meaning may change with each new day, each turn of the season. Ulfsild learned this hard lesson when the Scalarium slipped away. If I am to teach you as I taught her, I must learn what power means to you. A scroll nearby details a series of challenges, expressions of power, both subtle and not. Choose two to complete, that I might know what power means to you. You do not know me yet, but I am no taskmaster. Power expressed against one's will is no power at all. Attempt only the challenges that appeal to you. When you are done, return, and we will take your next step together. Rest easy. I would not set you to task without cause. There is method to my mindset. In the meantime, you have many questions. Mortals always do. My pocket domain, shaped and hewn into being in the same way I chose my form. I find it a pleasant respite from the larger world. Other luminary domains may have been formed with different goals. Only partially. Scribing, even in its earliest incarnations, seemed destined to use a luminary's power. It was Ulfsild's idea to bind my domain to the Scalarium, which in turn led to great achievements and those beautiful doors. In Ulfsild's time, yes, it did. The strength of the luminaries channeled into the very heart of the scribing altar allowed for incredible feats, and may do so again, depending on how you fare. The noble beast whose shape I chose felt right at home among these falling petals and verdant greens. When I need a moment's peace, or to rid my mind of stray thoughts, I'm grateful that this was the space that formed around me. Indeed, each of us formed a pocket realm as we were born. None of us could answer the question of why, if that has risen to the top of your mind. Each of us has an opinion, of course, but that's also in our very nature, it would seem. I think we are very alone, each of us, and Aetherius, in its wisdom, did not wish us to be both alone and wandering. This sense of isolation is something we each grapple with in our own way, as did Ulfsild, of course. Of course. I would be disappointed if you did not. Scribing is an art esoteric, translating the very stuff of magic into mortal hands by luminary liaison. There's much you do not understand. Yet. If magic is a river, we are eddies in the current. We are not masters of the river, but we are a part of it. The river is us. We are the river. Each of us awakened in a different manner, time, and place. I am the oldest to choose my form, I believe. Why are you the way that you are? Why do you have fur, claws, and a tail? You are what you were born to be, and I am the same. I was able to choose my shape, but there was no other shape I could have been. To consider the meaning of power. Every being alive thinks they understand it. But how to gain power, or what power to gain, is not the crucial question. How should power be used? That is what drives me. Gladiators in a ring, the unquiet dead, a Daedric incursion, overlords reigning in the depths. They all possess the means to destroy, to control. I encourage you to see that power firsthand, and consider how you yourself would use it. The act of scribing is really quite simple. You focus your will, put ink to parchment, and scrawl your soul upon the page. You change the magic, and the magic changes you. Focus your intent, and fire becomes frost. Venom becomes shock. That was Ulfsild's choice. She spoke to other scholars of her time, her husband, her friends. But scribing was a path she walked alone. It was a choice I believe she came to regret in the end.
That's the last of them.
Set it ablaze!
Tamriel Grizz, an Atronach of lightning and rock. Your strength will be rewarded one day.
Well done, mortal. You have risen to the challenge. One task remains. If I am to lend you my strength, you must lend me yours. Power for power. A wrong righted, and another step on the path. My own. One day, as I enjoyed the sun upon my pelt, I beheld a hunter tracking an Indrik and her fawn. The hunter moved in to claim their prize, and the hind perished. The fawn leapt for freedom, and the hunter gave chase. I stepped in. I imbued the fawn with a wisp of my power, but in acting with haste, I acted unwisely. My power protected the fawn true enough, but it gathered the hunter in its wake. Now predator and prey are trapped in a chase unending. I granted my power to a being that did not ask for it, and did not know how to use it. The height of arrogance. A vice I have been accused of on occasion. Use the lens, find their trail, and release these poor souls from my power without focus. Seek the fawn and the hunter in a southern Auridon cavern. Del's Claim, I believe it is called today. Restore this ill-used power, and I will lend my strength to yours. A signpost on your path to master scribing.
Come now, little fawn. You cannot run forever. No quarry can escape me. Hounds after it. You were quite the challenge, little. Another trophy for my collection. Hounds, attack!
And you start for choosing to remain still.
Take my soul. Just as I said, my power overwhelms the fawn. A ward of that power now binds it. Dispel the ward. You are free, little one. Free to... What? Ah, of course. You may return with us if you wish. I will see both of you in my domain then. I will grant my promised power to the one that sought it, and offer safe harbor to the one that did not.
You were quite the challenge, little. Another trophy for my collection.
Take my soul. The fawn is safe. My strength returned. And you have had a moment, I hope, to reflect on power and its wise application. Now, as with Ulfsil before you, I offer you the sigil of the Indrik. You will take it to the altar and imbue my strength within. The power I pass to you will infuse every drop of ink, every sheet of parchment, each whorl and dot upon the page. Until now, your mastery of the art was limited. With my support, your horizon expands. So too, the vision of your allies. I will ensure their efforts to explore and chronicle the contents of the Scholarium meet with success. Your knight has returned, with allies at her side. But that can wait. Mortal, fable-bearer, friend. Accept my gift to you, the power of a luminary of magic. You have completed my trials. You have shown wisdom in the use of your power. Take my sigil. Join its essence with the altar. and let the ink flow once again.
You don't see that every day. Nalia's going to want to hear about this.
Good to see you again. You'll find her over in the East Wing with our newest arrival.
This is all so exciting. I can barely keep myself from spreading it around the rest of the guild.
Not the first time Nalia's gotten herself in over her head. I suppose that's why I'm here. To help keep her head above water.
Quite the adventure we're on together, eh? I hear Nalia's conversation with Archmage Galarian went surprisingly well. Don't take my word for it, though. She'll have much to say on the matter, I'm sure.
There you are. I wanted to introduce you. This is Chronicler Ferandil.
Good to meet you. Nalia and I have been touring the library and I've already found, well, some terribly surprising things.
Ferandil is a chronicler, one of the best the guild has to offer. You two talk a moment, and then we can discuss what comes next. Talk to Ferandil if you have a minute. He can be a bit of a big personality, but he's the very best at what he does.
Chronicler Ferandil, at your service. Chronicler of tomes, scrolls, scripts, and otherworldly delights. I'm glad that I was able to make the trip. I think you'll find my skills quite valuable on this most unexpected expedition. I've been tasked with facilitating this lost art form you've rediscovered. Scribing. How novel. As I understand it, you will be contacting and convincing these luminary creatures, empowering the altar and all that. I'll scour the complex for grimoires and scripts. I've already found quite a few, aided, perhaps, by that... what's his name? Indrik chap. I've never been led by a faun to a trove of ancient secrets before, but it was an exciting experience. Don't worry, I will do my very, very best to ensure I have what you're looking for. I take my role as chronicler for this expedition quite seriously. But of course you do. Ask away, my new friend. Happy to help in any way I can. In the Great Mages Guild hierarchy, it's a bit of an informal title. It's passed around by a few adepts, like myself, with a penchant for the identification and illumination of ancient secrets. Isn't it beautiful down here? Just exquisite chisel work on the walls. When the votary here described this place, well, I just had to come along, and I'm so very glad I did. I believe so, yes. I have a good imagination, you can ask anyone. But I can think of few other reasons for an Indrik faun to be traipsing about the depths of an ancient library carved from a Somerset island. I most certainly hope so. This place is massive, and any assistance they might put forward would be deeply appreciated. You can tell them that Chronicler Ferandil said so when you speak to them.
Good to be back. I know it took some time to get us all down here. Apologies. Archmage Galarian and the Votary Commander needed significant convincing to turn this into a full-fledged expedition. How did it go with the Crow? You just continue to impress again and again. With the Luminary strength added to the altar, who knows what you'll be able to accomplish? As you might imagine, Guild leadership is very interested in the art of scribing. For the duration, you have more luminaries to find, this complex needs to be explored, and the secrets of scribing are just waiting to be teased from the past. What about you, friend? This expedition would be nothing without you. Magnus be praised. We've secured supplies for a full-fledged expedition, you've allied with your first luminary, and the altar surges with new power. Not bad for a day's work. What happens next is up to you, be it griffin, netch, or dragon. We've gathered the fables in the main hall. If you have any questions, let me know. Except for what's beyond the unmarked door. You mean Ferandil? I reached out to him while I was waiting for the Votary Commander to decide what she wanted me to do. I've worked with him in the past, and he's unusual. But he's the best at what he does. Ferandil has this way of getting his hands on things you wouldn't expect. Like, he's got a sixth sense about ancient relics and magic. Basically, he's a treasure hunter and merchant, but he's extremely reliable. We do not. Julian and I have already begun speculating, based on some early hints. Our best guess? It's Ulfsild's private study. But I suppose we'll find out, won't we? I did, and she was a bit cryptic. I mean, especially cryptic. Sometimes it's hard to tell with a magical talking crow, but she seemed like she didn't want to talk about it.
The key when shopping is never to have your heart set on just one thing. I offer so many treasures, so many secrets. I mean, how can you choose just one? Take a look.